I miss our dinners.
So we're gonna, Samar's gonna start broadcasting right before we get started.
I miss our dinners.
I'm trying to change my name, but I can't even do that.
Looks like we have everyone here. All right. Good evening, everyone. We will go ahead and begin open session here at 7 o'clock, starting with item 3, general matters. And we are going to go ahead and go to item 3.01, the land acknowledgement statement. And so as we begin this new year, it's really of utmost importance to continuously acknowledge the past, present, and future of the original peoples of this land, and that is the Muwekma Ohlone people. And so by reading this formal statement to begin every board meeting, we recognize and respect the Indigenous peoples specific to this area. It's also important to understand the historical context and the ongoing colonization that's present today. And my hope is that this step will help us continue to build community and partnership with the Muwekma Ohlone people. I will go ahead and read this land acknowledgement now. We acknowledge that the Franklin-McKinley School District and our schools are located in the Muwekma Ohlone Nation, the sovereign nation and original people of the skies, land, and waters where we learn and work. The Muwekma Ohlone people are the stewards of these lands and of the teachings and learnings that come from and responds to the needs of the land and people who share it. May our daily lives and work, learning, teaching, and community engagement support the evolving vision of the Muwekma Ohlone for their community and these lands. We will now go to item 3.02, the flag salute. And I'm going to ask Board Member Sanchez, can you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Yes, I will. Everybody, please stand for the flag salute at this time. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Trustee Sanchez. We will now go on to item 3.03, approve, disapprove additions to the agenda. Seeing none, we will move on to item 3.04, approve, disapprove order of the agenda. Seeing none, we'll go to item 3.05, report of action taken in closed session. Superintendent Cruz?
Yes. The board unanimously approved the closed session minutes for December 15, 2020. There are no other actions to report.
Thank you. We will go to item 4, oral communications. And before I read that, Superintendent Cruz, do you have a count on any members?
We
Wish
have
to
no
speak?
members asking to speak to the board.
Okay, I will go ahead and read the statement. Oral communications, members of the public may address the board on any issue within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board or agenda items. Members of the public may also address the board on consent items before the board's consideration of the items. In accordance with Board Bylaw 9323, individual remarks will be limited to 3 minutes each. Unless otherwise stipulated, no action can be taken on any agenda items at this time. Questions may be referred to the administration or put on a future agenda. We have item 4.01, oral communications, and just confirming we don't have anyone who wishes to speak at this time.
Not at this time. We will keep checking, but not at this time.
Okay, thank you. So we will go ahead and move on to item 5, consent items under 25,000. Members of the public may address the board on consent items before the board's consideration of the items in accordance with Board Bylaws 9323. Individual remarks will be limited to 3 minutes each unless otherwise stipulated. Board members, go ahead and let me know if you have any items you'd like to pull for discussion. So we have, seeing none, we'll go ahead. I'll accept a motion.
Move to approve consent item 5.01. Or are you talking about all of them? Just that one area? One.
Well, I guess there's only 1 and 5, but
Yeah.
yes, just for
Second.
5.
Second.
Thank you. So this item 5.01 has been moved and seconded. We'll go to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez,
Yes.
Board Member Rodriguez,
Yes.
Clerk Cruzado,
Aye.
Vice President Tran,
Aye.
and I'm Mona of Alberta, vote aye as well. That item passes unanimously. We'll go to item 6, consent items over 25,000. Again, members of the public may address the board on consent items before the board's consideration of the items in accordance with board bylaw 9323. Individual remarks will be limited to 3 minutes each unless otherwise stipulated. Board members, are there any items we'd like to pull?
Yes, 6.01 and 6.02.
Any other items? Otherwise, I'll accept a motion.
Move to approve items 6.03 to 6.06.
Second.
Okay, items 6.03 through 6.06 have been moved and seconded. We'll go to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez,
Yes.
Board Member Rodriguez,
Yes.
Clerk Rosado,
Aye.
Vice President Tran.
Aye.
I'm Mona of Alberta, vote aye, and that motion passes as well. We will go to item 7, construction items. Members of the public may address the board on consent items before the board's consideration of the items. In accordance with board bylaws 9323, individual remarks will be limited to 3 minutes each unless otherwise stipulated. We have items 7.01, 7.02, and 7.03. Board members, are there any items you would like to pull? Otherwise, I will accept a motion.
Move to approve construction items 7.01 through 7.03.
Second.
So those items have been moved and seconded. We will move to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez,
Yes.
Board Member Rodriguez,
Yes.
Clerk Rosado,
Aye.
Vice President Tran.
Aye.
And I'm Mona of Alberta, vote aye on that motion as well. So that passes unanimously. We will move to action items. Item 8.01, personnel report. And I believe that's personnel report. Do you have that, Ton?
You're muted, Tom.
Madam President, I move that the personnel report be approved as submitted and that A, the employment for the following employees be approved. Lisa Patino, teacher at Shirakawa, effective 1/11/21. Leonardo Perez, district liaison under special ed services, effective 1/25/2021. Pooja Dutta, paraeducator at Bridges in Franklin, effective 1/11/21.
Thank you, Vice President Tran.
Second.
Right, this item has been moved and seconded. We'll move to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez,
Yes.
Board Member Rodriguez,
Yes.
Clerk Rosado,
Aye.
Vice President Tran,
Aye.
and I'm Mona of Alberta, vote aye as well. So that motion passes unanimously. We will go to item 8.02, December 15th, 2020 board meeting minutes. And board members, hopefully you've had a chance to review those. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. Otherwise, I'll accept a motion.
Move to approve the December 15, 2020 board meeting minutes.
Second.
Right. The item 8.02 has been moved and seconded. We'll move to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez,
Yes.
Board Member Rodriguez,
Yes.
Clerk Rosado,
Aye.
Board Member Tran,
Aye.
and I'm Mona of Alberta, vote aye. So that motion passes unanimously. We will go to item 8.03, the noon duty supervisor hourly rate increase. And Assistant Superintendent Cassidy, do you have that?
Good evening. This is a recommendation to increase the hourly rate for our noon duty supervisors from $15.25 to $15.45 per hour to match the City of San Jose minimum wage ordinance that went into effect January 1st, 2021.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any questions or comments?
Just one comment that in the comments of this action item, it says proposed I believe it's supposed to say proposed rate.
Correct. Thank you.
Okay, if there are no other comments or questions, I'll accept a motion.
I move that we approve item 8.03, the noon duty supervisor hourly rate increase to $15.45.
Second.
All right, item 8.03 has been moved and seconded. We'll move to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez.
Yes.
Board Member Rodriguez.
Yes.
Clerk Rosado.
Aye.
Vice President Tran.
Aye.
And I'm a Mona of Alberta. Vote aye on that motion as well, and that passes unanimously. We will go to item 8.04, Resolution 2020-01, Black History Month. Superintendent Cruz.
Yes, so as is customary, that February is Black History Month, and so we bring this forward as an acknowledgement of the contributions that we made to history, but specifically the United States. And we will, as always, send this out to our schools and have our teachers use this as an opportunity to engage students throughout the month and throughout the rest of the year. So we bring this forward for your consideration.
Thank you. Board members, any comments or questions?
I had a question in terms of Black History Month, because we do usually support our staff out there. Are there any things that we'll be doing differently because of distance learning to support our staff and make sure that, they're acknowledging the contributions of African Americans throughout the history of this country? Superintendent?
So we always ask for the schools to let us know of specific things that they're doing. So as if an opportunity for the board to be engaged with that as well. So we will continue to do that, even things that are done, through distance learning. There's no reason why we can't continue to acknowledge and teach. Obviously, this is not an opportune time for us to do so. But in terms of actual events, as we've done, they've had them before, they may have to rethink those, but we will let the board know of any special assignments or things where we can be part of that.
All right, thank you, Superintendent, for that.
Any other questions or comments from the board? And again, I'm excited to see this here. I know our teachers and staff, administrators are really doing as much as they can really during these, challenging times. And I know that they will certainly make an effort here as well to help us celebrate and recognize Black History Month as well. So I will accept a motion, board members, whenever you're ready.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion, item 8.04, resolution number 2021-01, Black History Month.
Second.
This item has been moved and seconded. We'll move to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez,
Yes.
Board Member Rodriguez,
Yes.
Clerk Rosado,
Aye.
Vice President Tran. And I'm a Mona of Alberta. Vote aye. So item 8.04 passes unanimously as well. We will go ahead and move on to item 8.05, resolution 2021-02. And board member Rodriguez, I'll turn it over to you if you'd like to start with any comments that you have.
Okay, thank you, Madam President. Yeah, I received this from a message from our, the president of the Latino School Board Association, California Latino School Board Association, and I thought it was very timely and appropriate to recognize from our board that we do not condone any type of violence that has occurred in relation to that has occurred from this past week, and that we stand united with our democracy and we stand in support of our United States Constitution and government, to let the public know that this is something that is unacceptable.
Thank you for helping submit this, Board Member Rodriguez. Board members, any additional comments or questions?
I just wanted to make a comment that we're definitely going through some trying times in our history, more than we've ever seen. I think, it's really a deep crisis that I think that hopefully we can get out of by January the 20th. But it really is unfortunate the events that have taken place recently that made us look like a banana republic, as was said by some of the commentators. And that's really, really sad for a country like ours that's, the beacon of hope, the beacon of democracy throughout the world. And to have this happen is just a tremendous tragedy. So thank you, Board Member Rodriguez, for bringing this forth. And I hope hopefully other districts are also pursuing this particular statement, principle that we have here tonight. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from other board members? Otherwise, I do have something I'd like to say. No? Well, I also just feel it's really important to note that we are the first school board in Santa Clara County to pass this to hopefully pass this resolution. We'll see, because it's also a reminder that our students are watching and learning from our every action as leaders. And because, on January 6th, 2021, our students and our nation watched the violent insurrection of white supremacists attacking our democracy, I will be supporting this resolution because we really need to be able to acknowledge that the rhetoric of our president and complicity of his allies incited this violence. And I truly feel as leaders, we have a moral obligation to call out injustice and what is yet another example of systemic racism. So with that, I will accept, if there aren't any additional comments or questions, I will accept a motion on this item.
Move to approve Resolution 2021, condemning the violent, seditious actions at our national capital inflicted by President Donald Trump.
Second.
Okay, this item has been, item 8.05 has been moved and seconded. We will move to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Board Member Rodriguez?
Yes.
Clerk Rosado?
Aye.
Vice President Tran?
Aye.
And I, Mimona Absalberta, vote aye on this motion as well, so it passes unanimously. We will go to item 8.06, the reporting on delegating authority to take the necessary action to protect students and staff from the spread of coronavirus. Superintendent Cruz?
Yes, so I'll keep it brief. Since we just came back, we are this week continuing with second round of testing for our staff, and so that is part of what we're doing on our part in terms of making sure that we are keeping staff and the students that we serve in our core program safe. So we're hoping that with those efforts and then the efforts that are now being undertaken by the county and the vaccination helps reduce the risk of COVID-19 in our community. I did receive some information today that educators in Santa Clara County are due to have access to the vaccine in the coming weeks. And so as that information is more clear and specific, we will make sure that we share that with the board and with our general public as we continue to make sure that our employees and our community are being safe. There's no other action that I've taken unilaterally in this situation. So I'm open to any questions related to this topic from the board.
Board members, any questions?
Just one question. I know we have a committee assigned to manage the whole COVID situation, reopening. Are they still in meeting or?
Just a second. Yes, so the committee is being convened under the direction of Dr. Martinez Palmer. in accordance with the board's decision that even though the decision was to remain in distance learning at largely for all students through June, that if we deemed it safe enough, that we would be bringing, small groups, specific groups, higher risk for possible in-person instruction. And so that committee is going to be going through that process of how do we go about identifying students? What would be the protocols? What would be the way that we would do this if we deem it's safe enough for us to do so in the near future? And before we would even implement any of it, it would come back to the board for approval.
Any additional
Superintendent?
questions?
Well, I just had a quick question. In terms of the vaccinations, I guess that would definitely include all the certificated, all the classified, so all the administrators, of course. So that pretty much would cover everybody. Is that pretty much my understanding?
That's correct. Anybody that works within the education system is considered essential workers, and so we are designated under 1B, tier 1 under 1B, which is the next wave of priority immunization.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the board? All right, seeing none, we are going to go ahead and go to item 6.01, which now becomes 8.07, I believe.
Yes.
Clerk Rosado, you had questions?
Yeah, just a quick question. First of all, I think this is a great service. I wish it was in place when my kids were riding the bus, but I'm just curious to know what prompted the district to acquire this service now, the Smart Tag service.
So we're always looking for ways to utilize technology to make our processes better, and also to make the process for any subs that come in to drive our buses, to make their lives a lot easier in terms of following our normal procedures for transporting students to and from home. This also has a lot of, I don't want to use the word bells and whistles, but a lot of different features that we did not have with the previous provider. It does provide live tracking of the buses and their location, so parents can get an idea of where their student is on the bus. It also has the ability to text parents if there needs to be an emergency notification to parents. It's just far and above what we used to have as a district, and we're just really excited to move forward with this solution to ensure that our staff follow normal protocols and to keep our students safe.
Cool. That's good to hear.
I did think of a question, and thank you, Carrie, for pulling it. Does it need parent permission for it to be placed on the student? How is it placed on the student anyway, or is it just by bus?
So these are our tags. Our students already wear tags, so this would be something that they would replace their old tags with, and then there's going to be a machine on each of the buses that monitors the kids as they come on and off, and it basically creates a beeping noise so that we know that the student is getting onto the right bus and making sure they're getting off at the right spot. Parent
permission required?
That would be part of what they signed up when they agreed to
register.
It's already part of our process. To get parent permission.
Got it. Thanks.
Board members, any other questions or comments on this item? Okay, seeing none, I will accept a motion on this item, which is now 8.08.
Move to approve item 8.08, the 2020-21.
Correction, it's 8.07.
Oh, 8.07, the 2020-21 purchase of Smart Tag.
Second.
Right, this item has been moved and seconded. We will go through a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez?
Aye.
Board Member Rodriguez?
Yes.
Clerk Rosado?
Aye.
Vice President Tran?
Aye.
And I'm Mimona Silverta, vote aye, so that item passes unanimously. We will go ahead and go on to item 6.02, which is now 8.08. And Board Member Rosado, you had questions?
Yes, in the contract, it lists both Voices and Cornerstones, which are charter schools, as being covered under the choral program. Is the district covering that cost, or is it shared with those charter? How is that?
No, so their funding is separate, but it's part of the same contract with the state funding because they're under our district. It does not. Each school has its own funding based on their free and reduced lunch and their student population. But the choral program does have those contracts with those entities as well. That's why they're listed on there. But we don't pay for them. They get direct funding per school by the state. We do that too. Our funding is directly tied to each school based on their free and reduced and their enrollment.
Okay. That was my only question.
Thank you. Board members, any additional comments or questions on this item? Otherwise, I'll accept a motion whenever you're ready.
Move to approve item 8.08, the 2020-21 ratification of the contract with Catholic Charities of Santa Clara County to implement choral program.
Item 8.08. Oh, that was the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. So item 8.08 has been moved and seconded. We will go to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez.
Aye.
Board Member Rodriguez.
Yes.
Board Member Rosado.
Aye.
Board Member Tran.
Aye.
I'm Mona Silberto, vote aye on that as well. So that passes unanimously. We will continue on. Item 9, communications from the superintendent. Superintendent Cruz.
Yes, I'll keep it brief. Thank you. First, Happy New Year to everybody, and looking forward to a better 2021 than what we just left 2020 behind. Just want to let the board know that we did conduct some focus group of students right before the break, and students were very it was encouraging to hear them and their perspective and the things that are going well with distance learning, and certainly things that are challenging. And so we intend to make that part of the committee, provide that to the committee that is working on improvements on distance learning, but also for our consideration of in-person. I am getting ready to set up my schedule to have my school side meetings, even though they'll be virtual. I will continue to, with that practice of meeting with each staff directly. And I'm just looking forward to a better 2021. And I want to thank everybody for your support and your commitment to this community, because it has not been easy, but we only could do what we are doing by doing it together. And so our staff have been amazing and continue to do their best to teach our students in a format that is not very easy to do so through distance learning, but they're doing an exceptional job. So thank you for your support.
Thank you, Superintendent Cruz. We will go to item 10, communications from the Board of Education. Item 10.01, board member reports, and we'll start with Board Member Sanchez.
Oh, just a couple of things again, kind of echoing Superintendent's words. That we definitely hope 2021 is a much, much better year, at least the second half, So let's see how it goes. And real quick, in December, I did help out with the Second Harvest Food Bank, and very busy. We gave out all the food on that day. There was a big line of cars. We had the people from Second Harvest here, the president, I guess, and the assistant to the president there. So they saw how much the need was in the community. So that was good to see them there. I did fill out my paperwork also for the delegate assembly, so I sent all that in. And so that will be coming back to us in March when we are up for we vote on the individuals, including myself. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, but thank you. That's my report.
Thank you, Board Member Sanchez. Board Member Rodriguez?
No report. And George, are you campaigning? I'm just kidding. No report.
Thank you. Board Member Rosado?
Just wanted to wish everyone a happy new 2021 year. Like everyone else, I do hope it's much better than last year, especially with the change in presidency and the immunizations coming along, and look forward to going back to normal. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Board Member Tran?
Similar to everyone else, wishing everyone had a good break and a happy new year. Got off to a rocky start, but let's see if the rest of 2021 can be salvageable. So
Thank you. And I'll just share, I was able to participate in the first committee meeting for the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging that we had the end of December. I know Board Member Rosado was also able to join in. And so just really excited. We did a lot of community building with that group and taking a brief glance at what priorities might look like. And so excited to continue that work and lead us into this new year, and just encouraging and reminding everyone, I know it's dragging on, but just continue to do the best that we can with our physical distancing, wearing masks, and trying to stay as safe and healthy as possible. With that, we will go ahead and go to item 10.02, agenda items request. So you board members, you can see the items that are currently there. Are there any other item requests at this time?
Yes. I'd like to add on there the project that we have potentially going on, Communications Hill.
Okay. Were you able to get that, Superintendent Cruz? Right. Any other requests for updates? Right, so we will go on then to item 11, future business. There is none at this time. Item 12, future meeting dates. We have 12.01, January 26th. That will be a remote meeting. Item 12.02, February 9th. That will also be a remote meeting. And item 12.03, March 23rd, which will also be a remote meeting at 7 p.m. Item 13, closed session. We will not be going back to closed session. So we will move on to item 14, adjournment. Board members, I will accept a motion when you're ready.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we will move to a roll call vote. Board Member Sanchez.
Aye.
Board Member Rodriguez.
Yes.
Clerk Rosado.
Aye.
Vice President Tran.
aye.
And I'm a Mona of Silberta, vote aye. And so we are adjourned at 7:33 p.m. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye, everybody.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you. You too.